Okay. Hola, my amigos and amigas. It's me with Ellie.
Yes, I'm Ellie, and that's Andrew.
Yeah, so we're live and we're ready to perform for you, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start off by Ellie sharing her artwork if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? Right.
Yep, I did 3 drawings today. The first one I did today was, was made out of oil, made with oil pastels, just random colors and in like a vertical, horizontal, and diagonal triangles and squares. I guess just random stuff
Looks kind of cool. Looks kind of cool.
with like a mix of colors.
Nice, nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then this one is made with crayons, just like a squiggly lines and random colors mixed in.
Kind of cool too. Kind of cool too.
Just like random stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, hey, you had a productive day, right?
yeah. And now this was made with markers, just more like a random colors, horizontal triangle with circles in the middle, then the 2 vertical rectangles with circles in the middle, and then triangles with circles in the middle.
Cool. Yeah.
And just random stuff.
So I'm going to share with you the artwork I did, if you'd like. And this is obviously Ellie and I at the carnival yesterday in Levittown.
Yes, we went to the carnival yesterday in Levittown.
You see me, Ellie and I atop the Ferris wheel, and I'm saying we're on top of the world. And Ellie says, I like the breeze and the great view of Levittown.
Me too.
So this is my drawing, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, and it's something we did yesterday.
Yeah, something we did yesterday, yes. So we still have tickets. I guess we could, try to do it again today, but it's rainy, so maybe we won't, right?
Yeah, tomorrow or Monday, one of those 2 days.
Sure. We still got 5 tickets left, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We could just throw that money away, but I don't know. Or we need
use up the tickets.
We'll use up the tickets, yeah. In some capacity, I guess, right?
Yeah. So come on, everybody, join the live stream and fire away your questions.
So the topic I was obviously, talking with Ellie about was making light and laughing at very serious things that have happened.
Well, the thing is, there's different types of laughing. There's genuine laughing, there's sarcastic laughing, there's nervous laughing, there's embarrassed laughing, there's whatever laughing, there's sad laughing, angry laughing.
Let's say there's a show, and it's an entertainment show, and they have advertisers like 1-800-COLLECT and Amazon and all these sponsors and advertisers. And let's say there's something that people suspect might actually be a murder on the show, where somebody is literally killed. You know what I mean? I don't.
That's no laughing matter.
The absurdity of it is, on the surface you might laugh because it's like, oh my God, the murder brought to you by Amazon, But yeah, ultimately when you start digging into it, it's no laughing matter. It's kind of like there was something obviously many years ago, Mountain Dew. They said you can name the flavor, and people voted for the name Hitler Did Nothing Wrong.
No, that isn't funny. That isn't.
No. Hitler did do a lot wrong, and of course, Mountain Dew would never name their flavor "Hitler Did Nothing Wrong."
Of course not,
because that would be sabotage and marketing suicide.
Definitely,
because imagine going to the supermarket, walking in the soda aisle, and seeing Mountain Dew "Hitler Did Nothing Wrong." It would be ridiculous.
Yes,
comedically absurd. You know.
That part wouldn't be funny, but it would be funny in a morbid way.
Yeah,
Like,
you might laugh because everybody knows, genocide and Nazi Germany. What went on there was like unbelievably bad. And if Mountain Dew, some soda company, started sponsoring that, it would
I'd probably just be like horrified and be like,
yeah,
like,
you would laugh because it's so ridiculous. You know what I
yes,
mean? So that's something to keep in mind.
yes.
But ultimately, like we said, also you got to feel sadness
Well,
and cry and make. I was told, obviously I learned my feelings were invalid, and I learned,
Me too, but
you got to take like serious topics, seriously and feel sadness and cry. There was a comedian many years ago that I was watching in New York City, and he was talking about life experiences, and while he was doing like a funny delivery, it was clear a lot of his life experiences were very traumatic and sad. I mean, he was putting on like a little silly performance about it,
yeah, well,
and that's why they say comedians, at least some of the best ones, take the very sad things in their life
and try to make light of
and
it.
minimize it and try to make it funny, even if it's not.
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, because well, you could either take a bad situation and cry about it,
Yeah.
or you could take a bad situation and do like,
Yeah, I mean that's true. Obviously,
depends on the situation.
it depends on the situation. Yeah. Obviously, like a murder or genocide. I mean, even though sometimes you might laugh because of how bad it is.
Well, actually, it's more like a kind of like a sad laughing. Cause like,
Yeah, I know some people laugh at very serious topics, and
because of the anxiety and nervousness.
yeah, or they learned very serious things are like especially if you've lived through a lot of traumatic things and a lot of sad things, and people made your feelings feel invalid and insignificant. You tend to they say laughing is a way to feel like your pain and your sadness is insignificant. So what you should really do is feel sadness and cry and.
Well,
Yeah, I mean that's the healthy way to be. I mean, it's better than anger. You know what I mean? Like just getting angry, but.
Hey, I've felt those negative feelings my entire life now, but now I have a life.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, Gecko Cujo.
We got Gecko Cujo in the house. He says, "Hello, art class buddies. It is I, Gecko Cujo. How are you doing, Gecko?"
Yes. How you doing, Gecko?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's rainy outside today and foggy and humid.
Yeah.
Doing great now that I see your smiling faces.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's different types of smiling. There's like smiling like you're nervous.
Yeah.
Smiling like you're embarrassed. Smiling like you're genuinely happy.
Mm-hmm.
And for a reason, or genuinely happy for no reason. And then there's just like a evil smiling.
Yeah, like you got the Miyamoto smile. Do you ever play? I mean, I know we talk about this often, but do you ever play the game Ocarina of Time?
No.
The happy mashup guy. It's Zelda. If you don't give him his money, he gets really angry and like he smiles like that.
Yeah. And then, it is that you got to be able to differentiate the different types of smiling, laughing, and stuff.
Exactly.
So it's contagious. Smiles spread quick on days like today. For sure it does. Is it raining where you are, Gecko Cujo?
So Gecko Cujo made an interesting point. Obviously, if you smile at someone, they typically smile back. So let's try it. But if you put on like a scared expression or like an anxious expression, people reciprocate with that.
Yeah, and they just like back away.
Yeah, so it's smile at people, be friendly to people, and they usually respond accordingly. I mean, some people are jerks, but
Well, they say do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Exactly. It's treat people like you would like to be treated, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
That's a good model to live by.
Yep. But not everyone lives by that, especially mothers.
Yeah, parents and mothers can be, abusive at times, or or whatever.
But
it is what it is.
finally, and I say here, oh well, that's good to hear, Gecko Cujo. So yesterday, me and Andrew went to the carnival in Levittown. We went on the Ferris wheel twice, and this swinging ride called Pharaoh's Fury. So that was fun. And then we had sushi at Izumi, so that was cool.
Gecko Cujo says we had snow a couple of days ago. The golden rule, so wherever Gecko Cujo is, they had snow.
This is the golden rule, and it's pot. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it's good because carnival and good food. I'm no sushi fan. Grew up in landlocked state. Well, I personally, yes, I like avocado rolls and miso soup.
Yeah.
But Izumi has this avocado rolls with peanuts.
Right. So do you ever feel like you've been betrayed by literally everyone in your life and everyone's lying to you?
Yes, I felt that way.
And you want them to communicate, but they stonewall and deflect, and you want the secrets, but apparently they say there's no secrets, but I have a feeling the reason they don't communicate the secrets is because of how angry they'll make me. I'll be livid. So they just don't communicate though, and it's clear they're lying.
Yeah, well, it's just that people they'll be all like smiles and whatever to your face.
Yeah.
But then behind your back they'll be like da, 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 woo.
Exactly. They'll act friendly to your face, but behind your back they'll criticize you and scapegoat you and villainize you.
Very much so.
Yeah. It's especially hurtful when it's parents or your family that's doing it. I guess if it's your friends that are doing it, who cares? Just meet new friends,
Yeah.
But if it's people that are, and like Gecko Cujo says, the best revenge is a life well lived, smiles, and to be buddies. Yeah, obviously love and happiness and live life well is the best revenge.
Yes.
If you get really irate and angry. Ultimately, you don't.
Because I used to dwell on the past when I lost friends, but then I eventually made new friends, and I was like, I have a life now.
They say if you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves, 1 grave for you and 1 grave for your enemy. And that means obviously, while you might eliminate your enemy on it if you embark on a journey of revenge, ultimately you're gonna wind up hurting yourself too. The best way to be is just no revenge, happiness, success, and live life well. Yeah.
Or you could just be like.
And they say, obviously people people who rage bait and do extremely disrespectful things expect the rage and reaction. And don't give them that. Give them no reaction. I get if somebody does something really bad, like murders somebody, you might want justice in court.
Yes.
For the obvious reasons. But ultimately, if you are obsessed with vengeance, it's going to ruin your life too. You know what I mean?
Yes, but especially if they kill a loved one.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Yours,
that makes sense. Case in point, Charlie Kirk and his wife. Obviously, his wife says, "Well, I forgive the assassin." Well, I'm not going to say let him free on the streets for the obvious reasons because he literally killed somebody, right?
Who's to say he wouldn't do it again?
He probably would, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why you just got to be like, it's just that because all my life I know that people, including my own family, would be all like smiles to my face, but then behind my back they would be like, That's like saying stuff about me thinking I would never find out.
Yeah, somebody says, I don't know about schizoaffective, which is what I have, but being obsessed with vengeance and anger is a hot coal that burns the person holding it. Yes.
Yes.
Success, independence, happiness is the way to live.
Well, what you could do with that hot coal is just put food on it to cook.
Exactly.
Grill,
exactly.
know?
Yeah.
Hey, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah, I had a friend many years ago, assuming he wasn't a betrayer too. He said that very thing: when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. He also said, he posted a picture of chewing gum, and he says, if you chew gum for too long, it loses its flavor, and only then will you know true despair.
Exactly.
And that's kind of how I feel my life has been. I've sat for 10, 20 years in a solitary fantasy world, no friends, no job, hardly any romance, no interpersonal relationships, posted on social media, hoping to be a success story. And, in a way, I'm chewing gum too long. And they say, does it taste like grief or bad lifestyle choices?
Both.
Honestly, it tastes like grief. I don't really think it's bad lifestyle choices by me, but but they might say that's what it should taste like, right?
Yeah. Well, humans are creatures of habit, and even though we're supposed to live and learn, some people keep making the same mistakes over and over, expecting different results. But the good thing about cats and dogs is that they'll tell it to your face what they think of you.
Yeah, I mean, I know we encountered many dogs at the carnival yesterday, some of which were friendly. One actually nipped at you, though. You remember that one? And I was saying, you got to be careful, but the dog was really cute. I mean, dogs, I'm assuming that dog didn't have rabies, but you never know. You know what I mean? You don't want to pet a strange dog, get bit, and wind up with rabies, because rabies is 100% fatal. So
I would think so.
And I think you're okay. I'm not trying to scare you, but I mean, it seemed like a really pretty cute dog, and it seemed like a friendly dog owner. I'm assuming she got it vaccinated, but you never know, right?
Yeah. Well, when my cat Dusty first flew into town, he clearly didn't have rabies because he was all like friendly and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, So I think you're okay, but you don't want to get bit by a random dog, though. Either.
No.
Yeah.
Because getting bit by a rabid animal, you're like, because they're foaming at the mouth. Because they're like here's a rabid dog.
Exactly.
And then they bite you, and then you've got rabies.
Exactly. Somebody says, Andrew, you've had the rabies shot. I actually have. I probably shouldn't tell you that, but
oh, really?
Yeah, there was a bat in the house.
What? How did it get there?
I don't know. I didn't see the bat. According to my mother and stepfather, they were away. They came back from a vacation, and I guess I left the dogs. I was taking care of the dogs, so I let the dogs go potty, and apparently there was a bat in the house. My mother said since I was in the house with the bat, and they were in the house with the bat, we don't think the bat attacked us or scratched us. But they say, better safe than sorry. Go over to the emergency room and get the rabies vaccine. It's probably an overreaction.
That is an overreaction.
But they say, with the evidence I had at the time, it made sense. A few days later, we determined the bat did not have rabies.
Well,
and I didn't get the third and fourth shots, but
it didn't actually bite you, right?
I never even saw the bat, but apparently there was one in the house, and it was in the house with me, so they decided I should get the rabies vaccine too. Yeah, it is what it is.
And then he asked where did the needle go? Where did they stab you?
I don't really remember, but I'm assuming in the butt.
Oh, how nice.
Probably. I don't really remember though.
Well, I think getting any kind of shot, specifically rabies, that sounds like rabies shot sounds like it sounds painful.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't want to do it, but it is what it is.
Did the other family members get the rabies shot?
Yeah, my mother, my stepfather, and so on. Everybody got the rabies shot. I mean, we all had a fun time getting the rabies vaccine. My mother was even joking how irrational and hypochondria it was. But
it is irrational.
It was. Everybody knew it, but like I know the psychiatrist at the time was like, "Oh, this makes perfect sense." What is he going to say? Your mother's a hypochondriac. You know what I mean? So
hey, better safe than sorry, right?
Right. What's he gonna say? Oh, your mother's insane. Like of course he's gonna say, oh, this makes sense. Like he's not gonna criticize it, but yeah.
Well, I hate Gecko Cujo says I hate needles. I'd rather fight a biker. Well, actually, when people who choose to give blood, they are voluntarily getting needled.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So, because because you're voluntarily getting pried with needles.
We got Ethel in the house. How you doing, Ethel?
Hello, Ethel Mertz. That's a character from I Love Lucy.
Oh, cool.
Her partner in crime.
And Rusty in the house too. How you doing, Rusty? Ethel?
Hello, Rusty.
How you doing, guys?
Rusty's in the house.
We got Ethel and Rusty in the house.
Ethel, Rusty, Gecko.
Yeah.
And it's like a rainy day today.
Yeah.
On Long Island, so that's like not good carnival weather.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up the door. You can continue talking to the the people, and I'll see if it's still raining. If it's not, maybe we can ride the Ferris wheel. If it's still raining, actually, it's worse.
Oh, it's worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess we won't be riding the Ferris wheel then.
Maybe tomorrow.
That's okay. We got 5 tickets left. One more ride.
Yeah, right. One more ride, peeps.
Yeah, one more ride, our peeps. Yeah. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Ellie.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
I'm doing good.
Yeah, me too.
Rusty says, I'm watching Over the Edge 1999, the pay-per-view where Owen Hart died. Yeah, that's a professional wrestler. Yeah, we were saying I was watching it on social media. Oh, he's watching 1998. Oh, that version isn't really much as significant, but it really looks like they intentionally murdered him. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, but apparently it was a negligent accident. So I guess.
Hey, accidents happen, right?
Accidents happen. Yeah. I mean, you might say some of the vignettes and promos leading up to it really seem like they're pretty much confessing they're gonna get away with murder, but
Well, that's just you overanalyzing.
Yeah, they might say it's ideas of reference and overanalysis. The evidence is he's just a wrestler who died in the ring, and there was no sadist behind the mask who led to their death. It's all his choice. So. And that's what you got to accept, right? You can't prove if somebody had bad intentions or not.
No, because with fictional characters, you could easily see into their minds because it's written down.
Yeah.
But in real life, like real people, you can't just literally go inside their heads and read their minds.
Yeah, even expert psychiatrists with really good mentalizing ability, they don't know 100% what's in your mind and what you're thinking.
No.
A lot of what you imagine is in somebody's mind is projection and your imagination.
Exactly.
Sometimes people who are very close, like siblings or family members or even really close friends, they could kind of finish each other's sentences and be really in sync with one another. But yeah, even they don't know 100%, what's in somebody else's mind. I know we said, what were you doing, June 7th, 2001.
Hell if I know.
I don't know. You don't know. And, I don't know your life story. And there's obviously a lot about my life story you don't know. And that's just life. Even if we're not intentionally keeping things from each other, there's just things about our lives that we're just not going to know about each other,
Yeah. Well, actually, Ethelmort says they've been married 3 times. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like, oh yeah, so basically like well,
You can't communicate your life story to somebody, even somebody. Yeah.
Including even identical twins can't. But
oh yeah, we also did you ever see the Property Brothers, Jonathan and Drew Scott?
No.
Yeah, they're like these brothers, and they put on a television show where they're almost like enmeshed with one another and really in sync with one another. And obviously, people who watch that on the network say, they seem really friendly and brotherly and harmoniously. But I bet you they have their own separate lives, their own separate wives. And I bet you the brothers fight and aren't basically the same person like they appear on the show.
Oh, well, I haven't watched those shows.
Yeah, it's entertainment. What they're selling is like really friendly, lovely brothers who never fight. That's what they're selling to you. I'm sure these brothers get on each other's nerves. They have their own separate lives. They're not always joined at the hip. They're not like conjoined.
Well, speaking of conjoined twins, some conjoined twins are joined at the head, like at the brain.
Yeah.
So they literally can see into each other's minds and live each other's lives.
Yeah, there actually are some examples of that. That's not what I'm referring to here, though.
I know, but
yeah.
And then there's also, well, like the Hensel twins are one body, 2 heads, but so they're living each other's wives. They are part of each other's wives, whether they want to or not.
That's true.
So Ethelmert, I'm guessing that you're a fan of I Love Lucy, because I myself am a fan of I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the funniest shows from the night, from like the good old days.
Yeah, the oldies but goodies, like we always say, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So Ethelmort said they've been married 3 times. That's, Elizabeth Taylor has been married like several times, so she's got you beat in the marriage department.
Definitely.
Because I mean, yeah, that's like ludicrous,
That's ludicrous, man. That's ludicrous. All right, you want to wrap this up?
Well, how about like a few more minutes?
Sure.
Cubans are feisty. Well, Ricky Ricardo was, and Desi Arnaz himself, yes.
Definitely.
But that's like a stereotype.
Yeah.
Well, and I Love Lucy was funny stuff.
It was, Ellie. It was a good show.
And who's Jim Acosta?
I don't know who Jim Acosta is. Ethel says Kanye West is a nutcase. I don't really know much about Kanye West, to be perfectly honest with you. I know he's a rapper and people like him, or he's I don't know if he's a rapper. I don't know what his genre is, but some people don't like him because of his, support of Nazis and
I don't like that either.
Yeah, and controversial things he's saying. So as a result, he's lost a lot of his fan base. And, it doesn't really seem like he's even making valid points, assuming he's being sincere. It just seems like he's being shocking for the sake of shocking.
Yeah.
I could see if he made a valid argument and believed what he was saying. But it seems like he's just trying to shock people for the sake of being shocking,
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily a good thing,
No, actually, it isn't.
Yeah, we were talking about how there's radio shock jocks who were on the radio, and they were originally on terrestrial radio, and you couldn't curse, because if you could curse on the radio show, the FCC would dump out. But then they got over to satellite radio and they had freedom to just curse and like use foul language. And then obviously it gets old. Ultimately what matters is the content, the material, the work of art, the show itself. It's cool that you have a lot of freedom to use more language, less censorship. But ultimately, the fact that you could just use the F word and the S word and so on, it's like, okay, it loses its appeal. Ultimately, the show is what's important, and also, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Just because you have the freedom to curse constantly, it doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. And somebody says, actually, I know every time, like if I get angry once in a while, I'll curse. Do you think I curse often or not really?
No.
Yeah, they say, obviously, I know like my father will chastise me if I curse during an argument, for example, and he says it sounds classless. They say people who curse more tend to be more honest, tend to be more genuine. I mean, I don't think it's a science and 100% proven, but if somebody's cursing up a storm, it shows they have kind of like a more genuine personality than somebody who's carefully constructing their words like a politician. You know what I mean?
Well, this coming from someone who, means you, who carefully constructs your words.
I don't think so. Do you really think I carefully construct my words? I don't think so.
Up to a certain extent.
I mean, we all do it up to a certain extent, but I think I speak, openly, honestly, from the heart.
Well, good. It's good to speak open and honestly from the heart because it's your heart, no one else's heart.
Do you look at me as a phony politician or a phony businessman, or do you look at me as somebody who's real, genuine, honest, and transparent?
I think all of the above.
You think you look at me as like a phony politician?
Yes, but also
I don't think so.
An open and honest person.
Yeah, I'm open and honest. Yeah, that's how I see
you're
myself.
A combination of it all.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you guys a fan of lost prophets? No, I don't believe in that prophecy stuff because it's just a load of hogwash.
Yeah. I mean, I get why you have to wear a mask to a certain extent. Like if you go into a job interview cursing and swearing and saying, I'm just going to sleep on break. You're not going to get a job.
Yeah, they'll just be like, adios.
Yeah, they'll fire you immediately. Yeah.
Before you even have the job.
Exactly.
Well, you got to get the job first, and then they'll fire you. Because how could you get fired from a job you don't have yet?
Yeah. I mean, on a job interview, if you start like, do you ever see the movie Office Space where they got the Peter Gibbons character who speaks frankly to the boss? She's like, I just don't care about this job. I don't care if I get fired. I just sleep at my desk. I do no work. And they're like, and the joke is it's a comedy. They wind up giving them a promotion, and the people who actually are working hard wind up getting fired because he's speaking from the heart,
Yeah, but in real life, that shit doesn't fly.
No, you get fired immediately. It's a comedy, obviously.
Yeah, and not real life.
Not real life.
Gecko Cujo says there are words you don't use in comics you don't broach. It can be class or dignity, but it's thought out and measured speech instead of off the cuff immediately. Oh, well, that's some wise stuff. That's some good stuff, Gecko Cujo. Because
and also never speak emotionally. Always
speak with
compose yourself. Zipper your lips. Think about it and respond. Silence. Don't be a blabbermouth. It's often better to be silent. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And to carefully think about your words. Don't be just a blabbermouth who just speaks blah 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 blah, because people can really.
I know. So. Gecko Cujo says some words can't be taken back, and Ethel Mertz says the same goes for emails. both of you are correct on that.
Yeah, I know my mother used to, especially during the divorce with my father, used to say, "Oh, she was always paranoid about putting things in writing because she was afraid things were going to be used against her in court." And it's like, I mean, you don't want to be thinking like in terms of court, but yeah, I mean, it's true. Obviously, if you put things in writing, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% documented in fact, but lawyers might use it against you, as Ethel says. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Especially if you're going through a divorce.
Yeah. Well, that's why. Well, hey, so Rusty says, "Nah, court's a joke. Take a swing at judge. No bigs." Well, actually, if you literally take a swing at a judge,
yeah, you're gonna be going to prison
yes,
or something bad.
But if you figuratively do it, like, be like, no, like, like, no, Your Honor, or whatever stuff, then, like, plead your case and just try to just do what you gotta. Just try to probably in a court of law, the best thing to do is just stay quiet
and let a lawyer do the talking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I know for like a movie like what's that movie with the guy from Home Alone?
My Cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny, yeah, just just be your own lawyer, basically.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into court. Yeah, the lawyers would. I mean, if you don't know the law, just have your lawyer do it for you, right?
Yeah. But with My Cousin Vinny, that lawyer Vinny had no idea what he was doing, but he was doing the best he could.
Yes, some people say obviously millionaires and billionaires can do nefarious things, and since they can afford excellent lawyers, they can often cover up negligence and crimes. And obviously me, a disabled nobody, if I got like say like somebody was doing something criminal against me, like a psychiatrist, for example, and I tried taking him to court, and this psychiatrist is a millionaire. Ultimately, it's like he's going to be getting a great lawyer, and I sound like a disabled mental patient. So it's like, good luck proving it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, mama.
Yeah.
So McSleeve says My Cousin Vinny is a good one. Oh, hi, McSleeve. Nice of you to join us.
Yeah.
And yes, My Cousin Vinny was a funny movie.
It was.
Marissa Tomei at her finest. Oh, I agree. My Cousin Vinny, great movie.
Exactly.
In New York, we hear that accent all the time.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, but ultimately, like, let's say somebody really does you wrong. Like we said, and they get lawyers to cover it up and to sabotage it, and like basically they're above the law, and there's going to be no consequence for what they've done. Like, what are you going to do? Like, go vigilante? That will lead to you going to prison.
Exactly.
Like you can't go vigilante, or you can, but that's going to ruin your life too. If you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves, one for you and one for your enemy.
So. Rusty Trombone says Earth Girls Are Easy with Gina Davis. I never saw Earth Girls Are Easy, but I don't recall Marissa Tomei being in that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I know of that movie.
Yeah.
And Gina Davis is also in Beetlejuice. Earth Girls Are Easy, which I never saw. I saw Beetlejuice, but not Earth Girls Are Easy. I also saw Stuart Little with Gina Davis from the late 90s.
All right, you want to wrap this up? I think we did enough, right?
Hold on.
Yeah.
And, well, I know that Earth Girls Are Easy had this one song called Cause I'm a Blonde. Cause I'm a Blonde, yeah. Cause I'm a Blonde by Julie Brown. That's a catchy song. And from what I do know about Earth Girls Are Easy, is that it has Jim Carrey, Damon Wayans. No, wait. Well, I think one of the older Wayne's brothers, and then also Jeff Goldblum, I think.
Oh, cool.
Whoever
Yeah. Okay.
whoever that
I
is.
guess that's okay. You know, I think we've done enough. Is that all right?
Keenan Ivory, whoever that is.
Yeah.
Oh, Thelma and Louise. I think I saw Thelma and Louise one time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay. So I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.
oh, and one more thing.
Yeah.
Marissa Tomei was also in an episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Okay. Adios, amigos and amigas. Peace out.
Adios, peeps.